Hey guys, it's Barrett with the Gimpy Camper. I wanted to share something with you that I'm very excited about. This camper right here has a brand new roof on it. And you're probably thinking to yourself, that looks like a brand new camper. And why would you want or need to put a brand new roof on it? And I'm going to go over that with you today here in this video. First of all, I decided to go with RV Armor for a roof coating. And you might be asking, what is that? How much is that? Why would you do that? And I'm going to answer those questions for you, okay? So first of all, I noticed this system back when I was working on the other camper roof, okay? And I thought, that'd be a nice thing to do, but my camper's not really worth it because let's face it, it was a ton of junk, it had a ton of water damage, and it was horrible. And if you ever had a camper with water damage, then you'd understand why I did this, okay? Because I have a whole system on working on that camper, a whole playlist, and I'm going to insert that in the video here. And it really ended up being a video of what not to do, even though I had the best of intentions. But I got so tired of it by the time I was done with it that I bought this brand new camper 1 year ago. So why would I do that? Well, some of the benefits of using RV Armor is that they come out to your place and they do the work where you are. So they send a tech no matter where you are in the country to you. It can take a while to get there. It took them a couple of months to get to me, but that's fine. And so they come out to the house. All they needed was power and water, and they put the whole new roof on. I didn't have to have a rebuild with any plywood or anything like that, but they handle those situations too. Now, the thing that got me there was when I was putting these solar panels on in Michigan, and I was walking on the roof, and it was hot up there. We went up there to escape the heat, but it was still 90 degrees up there. You could see the TPO stretching underneath my sandals. Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't give me peace of mind. It actually made me worry that it was causing a couple of pinholes that I didn't see that water intrusion could occur at. And so I'm very unhappy with the factory roof. When I drilled the holes to put those solar panels in, you could tell that this TPO that they put on these things is about 1/16 of an inch thick. 1/16 of an inch. And I don't know about you, but I need more security than that. As far as the price goes, you know, I'm not one to talk about prices on videos because I've done that before and prices change or I'll quote the wrong price, things get all out of whack. Now, is it expensive? Yeah, it's expensive, but is it value? It's a whole lot of value. Why is it so valuable? It's not even the roof that I find valuable. It's the warranty that comes with the roof. So RV Armor will give you a lifetime guarantee that you won't have any issues out of that roof. Now, when I say lifetime guarantee, there's got to be a catch-22, right? There's got to be some reason that they wouldn't fix it. And there are a couple. The main ones being that if there's something that insurance would cover, so if you were in a car wreck, if you had an act of God, like storm damage, then they would turn that in under your insurance. If you use products on the roof that were incompatible with the roof, then they'll tell you that you did something you shouldn't do and they won't cover it. But other than that, they claim to cover everything. Lee Thaxton, who's the president of the company, who I've talked to a little bit, even says in some of his videos, which I'm going to reference some of those in the description, so I would go and look at those because I looked at all these, I looked at tons of stuff before I did this, and all the ones that I found the most useful, I put in the description of this video, so go check them out. So, Lee Thaxton, the president of RV Armor, he claims that some roofing companies do have lifetime warranties, but there can be catch-22s with those. Sometimes you have to go back for a re-inspection every so often. With RV Armor, you never have to go in for a re-inspection. All that you really should do is wash it, and even then, they don't hold you to that. They don't make you wash it. They don't have any factors in there saying it's got to be clean. You never have to get up there and check the seals. but it's a lifetime warranty. Now that lifetime warranty, you might be thinking, well, you know, I'm the kind of person that only has a camper for 4 or 5 years, so is it really worth it? Let me let you on another secret. That lifetime warranty is, in essence, a transferable warranty because it goes with the VIN number of the camper. When they come out and put it on, they take a picture of your VIN number. That's how it gets entered into the system. So when you sell this camper, you can say it has a lifetime warranty on it for the life of the camper. Now tell me that's not value. I also did a lot of research before I went with RV Armor. So I scoured the internet to find all kinds of reviews and everything that I could in Facebook forums and asked people in Facebook groups what they thought. And I'll tell you, anybody that I talked to that has ever had one of these roofs put on is still completely happy with it. I did pay for this with my own money, and so I understand that it's a lot. Now also, I park my camper where there's not any kind of shelter, okay? I do take it out usually every other weekend, so twice a month, but it sits in the same place all the time with no shelter, and that makes me even more paranoid. So I thought, well, you know, you could build a shelter over that. The only issues is that I park it on land that's not mine, and so, you know, my neighbor's a great guy. He wouldn't mind me building something over there, but you're still building something on somebody else's land, and the price is probably going to be more than what this roof costs to put on. So for me, it made perfect sense. So the process is they come out to your house, or if you got a seasonal campsite, whatever, they'll come wherever your camper is. You just, of course, need permission from the campground or whatever to have some work done. But they come out there and they clean everything off on the roof. They give it a good bath first, then they take all your sealant off. They take all that dicord type sealant off of your front strip, the back strip, all of it from around your vents, your antennas, all that stuff. And then also remove it from around the gutters down the length of the sides. And that takes a while, because if you have a roof fail, it's probably going to fail because the prep work wasn't done. So they spend a long time working on that. During this process, they also remove all your vent covers and anything like that. That way they're not in the way when they go to put the roofing on, which makes sense. You can also upgrade to where they'll take your air conditioner off and put the paintable membrane all the way to the opening for the air conditioner. I didn't do that. You know, it is kind of a pricey upgrade, and I was thinking back and forth, and you know, this is their normal product. I still have a full warranty on my roof, and so I was like, we'll do it without it. Part of me still says should have went for it, but when you tell me that I got a lifetime warranty on my roof, whether you did that or not, then I'm going to say, okay, it's fine. To finish up the first day, after they do that, they put an epoxy type primer down all over the whole roof. So they brush it around everything and then use a roller to cover the roof. During this, I believe they do also use some type of mesh material, which reminds me of like a material that you would find in a fiberglass. So they put it down and they kind of paint over the top of it. I know that I saw them do it during some of the actual roofing membrane, but I think that they put a little bit of that down during the primer coat as well. And then that pretty much finishes up day one, usually. Day two, they come back and they get back up on the roof, and as long as the weather's cooperating, which by the way, they said that any of these coats is pretty much water impermeable after like 30, 40 minutes. And so the roof still chemically bonds with each next layer without an issue, even if it were to rain, as long as everything's dried off before they start again. Okay, because I had some issues worrying about that because it did rain while they were putting it on. The next issue with the roof that they handle is they put the first coat of the roofing membrane on. Now what they do with that is they go through and they use a paintbrush to paint it around the vents and around the gutters and around the transition strips, and they do pass that transition strip on the front and the back and overlap your rain gutters a little bit. And then they get all that cut in with a paintbrush, and then they roll it on, okay? Now, that roofing membrane is the same exact thing that they use for the second coat after the primer and the final coat, but it's not exactly the same because they do use a different color. Why would they use a different color? Because if you've ever done very much painting, then you understand how hard it is to know if something's painted if it's the same exact color. Think of, especially if you've ever painted a ceiling. I painted a ceiling in my house about a month ago, and it's bright white, and you know, even with lights in there, a lot of places you couldn't tell, so you just kept going over it and over it and over it to make sure that the coverage was good. So it's the same process here. They use a little different color for that first coat of the roofing material, then it's not going to match the color of your last coat, but it's the same exact material. After they put that second coat on, they're pretty much done for the day. Then on the third day, they come back and they put the final coat on. So it'll be your final color. Mine's tan. At first I was like, it looks a little bit white, but when you compared it to the color of the camper, which is tan, it was the same exact as the tan color up here at the top of the camper. So, you know, it is tan. It just I guess it's less tan than the other roof was, but it is tan. So they do all that stuff again that they did on the second coat. So they take it and they take a paintbrush and they brush around the vents and everything to cut everything in, and then they roll it on. And while they're doing that, they also get a thicker material, they call it flashing. And any cords that you have on the roof or whatever, they put just a little dab on there every so many feet. And essentially it takes the place of like the hangers and stuff that you usually see where you can screw stuff down, or on my wires for my solar panels, I used a little piece of a Turnabond tape every so often just to hold the wires down. And so that's all that does, and that chemically bonds in with the roof, and so you don't have to worry about your wires going anywhere. Water can still run underneath the wires, all that stuff, okay? They go a little bit further with the last coat. That way, wherever you went to with the last coat, say your transition strip was right here, they're going to go a little bit past it so it bonds better, kind of sticks to the roof right there on that very edge, and it just kind of bonds everything together and makes it stronger. It makes it go further past the original transition strip. One thing that they handled very well for me was my issue of having the wire that I told you in my video of the Max Air fans that I had to run over the top of the camper. So with that, they did ask me what I wanted to do with it, and we were kind of at an impasse and wasn't sure what the best route would be. And I had them put some of that mesh material over the top of that wire and then paint down over it. And so that wire is now covered, it's inside the roof. There is a very small ridge right there, but where the area is in the camper, it's in the very middle of the camper. It's on the higher part of the camper. I don't think it's going to cause any water runoff issues. I think it's going to be great. It's going to protect that wire. I never have to worry about it again. So guys, I spent all weekend here at Lake Guntersville State Park up in northern Alabama. This is a very nice campground. It's one of the campgrounds that is going to go to my favorites list. But there's this Hurricane Delta that hit landfall about Friday or so, and it's been dumping rain on us all weekend. I've been watching rain drip off this roof all weekend. I even thought about not coming because it's supposed to rain, and I didn't let the rain get in my way. And so I'm telling you, we've tested her out. There's no leaks or anything. Everything's great. I'm very happy with this thing. And I just couldn't think that it would hold any more value for what I paid for it. So with that, you know, you can go your own route. A lot of people like to do the DIY stuff, and I'm not saying that it doesn't work, but you can't give yourself a lifetime warranty, and you don't want to just second guess everything that you did putting that on there, because that's what I did when I worked on that other roof. Also, as it's starting to rain here again, so I gotta kind of get this finished up, but I wanted to point out that if you're an RVer and you full-time, RV Armor seems to have a very good program that you can work for. So, you know, they promote the whole work camping. The guy that came out and put my camper on, he acts like they've treated him really well. There is a video as well about that situation that's on RV Armor's site. That's in the description too. But it seems like a decent living that you can make. if you want to travel around and put these roofs on for a living. Now, from what I understand, there's like a 1-week training course that they have you go through, but you know, everything seems to be great. The only thing that I can see that could be an issue with most people is they do ask that you have some level of RV experience apparently, and that they also seem to move you around quite a bit, because you never know when that next job's going to come in or where it's for. And so from what I understood from the guy that came out here, they usually move them like 300 miles for each job. And so, you know, it's all about what you want to do and how much you want to work and what kind of living you want to make. But I'm just going to throw that out there, that it seems to be a very good option for you if you're the handyman type and you know a little bit about RVs. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for future videos that we have. Be sure to like, share this with your friends that have campers so that they don't have to worry about their RV roof ever again.
Do not forget to hit that subscribe button.